Hi guys. Okay, so this is another hernia video, and we are post-op 9 days. Okay, been a bit of a journey, but I'm going to share some things with you in this video that I've not heard anywhere. No one told me these things. I've had to find them out for myself and try different things. Okay, so this is a little update, and I'm going to, go through a couple of things that you're going to need to know to make it as easy as possible. So it was laparoscopic, which means they went through my tummy, under my belly button, 3 instruments. And so what happens is of course, they've gone through the abs, they've put the mesh in behind the muscle. And then what's happened is that all the abs contract and they go into trauma and they swell. Okay? Not huge, not going to look like Father Christmas, but it's solid and that's got to come out. Okay, and it hurts because you've got those 3 cuts as well, and they're very, very sensitive. I was lucky, my pain was a 2 to a 3, I think, as I've mentioned before. Unless you're trying to cough, then out of a 10, that's a 20. That is excruciating. The recommendation for this is always have a bottle of water with you. If you feel the need to cough, take a few slips of water, it will go. Because if you try and cough, because there might be stitches inside as well, I'm not joking, the tears start rolling down your cheeks. It is that painful, you can't help it. Your eyes, as you're trying to suppress it and the pain's growing, your eyes start watering and it's agony. Okay, always keep a bottle of water with you so you don't have to ask in case you're on your own, and you can just grab it. Don't chug it, but get a few sips. It'll cut it. Okay, dilemma over. I'm on day 9 post-op, and only today can I cough with no pain. Okay, so that's one little thing. All right, so after you've had your op, you've got to go to the toilet before they let you out of hospital, open or laparoscopic. I highly recommend you go laparoscopic, and I highly recommend you go private. Okay, if you can't pee, all right, little trick: you get some toilet roll, cut a bit of toilet paper. Just make a little pad, small one, reach behind and put pressure on your prostate. Okay, I'm not sure if it sends a signal or if it takes the pressure off, but within about 10 seconds you're going to start peeing. Okay, so because what happens is the anesthetic switches your brain off, and so your bladder switches off, your intestines switch off, your bowel switches off. You can feel nothing. Okay, you don't feel the urge to pee, and then when you are pee, you're worrying because you've got to sit on the toilet. And I recommend you sit. Okay, for if you don't sit, if you sit fine. If you don't, I recommend you sit to the toilet because you can just sit there and then wait, or do the pad, little bit of pressure, and it'll come out. Okay, and it'll just, your bladder will empty completely. Okay, little tip. Pooing, it takes about 2 to 3 days. Can take 4 to 5 days. Again, this is because the anaesthetic has switched your brain off, and I'm not joking. You feel like there's nothing there, even though you're eating. Okay, you've got to keep eating. So, a couple of things I recommend. You need lots of fibre. Okay. In the UK, I had them upside down. Linseeds. Okay. This is the shop here where I am that we buy them from. You can get them from Holland Barrett or a health food shop wherever in the world you are. Okay. I put on about 2 tablespoons on my breakfast. Every day anyway. I have them every single day, no matter what. Fantastic for your digestive system, bowels, heart, brain, for the omega-3s. Okay, a lot of fibre. You can take it with oatmeal porridge or any breakfast. Just chuck it on, get it in. Okay. Another thing is to put a hot compress or hot water bottle here in the UK. You can get them in the US, or a hot compress on your stomach. Only when I started doing that, because the gurgling starts to kick in, because until that point you didn't feel anything, and all of a sudden I felt gurgling. I thought, oh, here we go. The issue here is that the anaesthetic, the morphine-based anaesthetic, constipates you. Okay. There's the only way around it is to get some hot water in a sports bottle, or a sports drinking bottle with some soap, and squirt up. Not too hot, obviously, and then wait. Walking helps. So if you're walking up and down your apartment, your house, You know, 5 or 10 minutes just walking up and down gets things moving. That's another little tip. You know, the fiber's coming in after it, but there might be a plug there, if you know, like a hard bit that's got to come out. You don't want to strain too hard. Okay. You know, don't worry about talking about this kind of thing. Natural part of life. Everyone goes to the toilet. So you can put a hot water bottle or a hot compress. You know, you can sit on it and get the heat going, and to soften it. Walking up and down, hot compress on your tummy, and that helps obviously with the swelling and the pain in your abs. Okay, because then the hot heat will start relaxing. Another thing I took was melatonin at night. That's also a muscle relaxant and helps you sleep as well if you're having trouble sleeping. 5 milligrams, if it's allowed in your country, of course. That really helps as well, because you're relaxing. It's a soft tissue muscle relaxant, so your esophagus, your stomach, your intestines, your bowels, your bladder, things like that. Okay. Something else, obviously they give you painkillers. So they give ibuprofen, paracetamol, and a morphine-based painkiller, an opioid. I did not want to take that. My pain was low, didn't have to take it. Okay. If your pain's high, you might be tempted, but again, you're looking at constipation. And as soon as he told me that, I went, not having none of that. Don't want that. So I've been taking my painkillers. So I only took them every 4 hours for the first 3 days, and then I only started taking the ibuprofen after that 3 times a day. And we're on day 9. I'm going to probably have 1 today, just in case it aches a little bit. Okay, that's another thing. But also been taking this. Okay, ginger root. It's a anti-inflammatory. Okay, it's also good for your digestive system. Nausea, of course. Ginger is very good for your nausea. It's been around for about 5,000 years, and over 1 billion Chinese can't possibly be wrong. Okay, fantastic. This is 1,100 milligrams. You can get them in 550s, I think, or they used to do them in 550s. I take that with the painkiller. Okay, so it's a non-steroidal pain relief, anti-inflammatory, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. Very, very good. Good in the winter, good for your throat as well. I take that every single day. Just regardless, I've been taking it for years, every single day. Okay. So that's the crapping, the pooing, the coughing. Going to the toilet. The anti-inflammatory is the fibre. So we are, so that's again, 3rd time, day 9. And so I had a bit of a panic where the actual site where the inguinal hernia is, and it was very, very low, as I said, I think in my first video, down by the general there. So I have a little, it's swollen. I think I've got a bit of fluid retention there. So when you start doing things, it aches, and then you panic, it's coming out. I think it was day 4, day 5. I was panicking, laying here on the sofa, hoping it was going to stay in. And I think it's just swelling on the site, because the mesh is, I said, the mesh is behind the muscle. It's pinned in. It might have sewn up a little bit. I've got some stitches in there somewhere because they bloody hurt. And so you get a bit of swelling. So when you are going to sit on the toilet, make sure you don't just sit straight down, because then your legs are going to squeeze it, because it's slightly swollen there. Okay, so make sure you drop your trousers right down, or your underwear, whatever it is. Sit down, open knees, legs spread basically, and that'll take the pressure off that groove, because obviously you're going to sit down, the groove's going to tighten, and you're going to get some pain. Okay, so that's another little tip. Don't drive. I moved the car the other day, 15 feet. It was a little bit painful, so I can see why they say don't drive, and it's just it gets all too scrunched up. I had no choice but to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I had no choice. So that was very, very quick. Mobility, it gets moving quite fast. So day 9, probably 90% recovered. I'm moving as fast as I did before op. I mean, when you first start walking, you walk slowly, and you're careful of tripping or falling, or you spend extra time looking on the roads and everything. So you're very, very cautious. But by this stage, I'm almost back to normal. 90%. You're tempted. I'm doing a little bit of work, light work, not lifting heavy weights, anything like that. I've been working out here on the sofa with the bands, doing all sorts of shoulders and chest and arms and all this kind of bananas, because you end up inevitably well, you're at home all the time and you're bored, so you end up eating loads of garbage. Try not to, but only now am I starting to get back into my eating and not eating so much crap. All right, guys, that's it. So I've got my surgeon's appointment, which hopefully give me the all clear on Tuesday. Today's the 10th, I think it is, of November. I had it on the 1st, the 10th of November, 2022. And so yeah, recovery's going well. Just those things, you know, the pain, it lessens every single day. And then, you know, we're out of it. My sister's just had open hip replacement surgery, and they've carved her up. Didn't go private, went NHS, and she's 3 months out of action. I mean, literally a great big scar going down her leg. So if you can go private, go private. There are monthly payment options, even here in the UK. Okay, it was like a 10% interest, and you put a deposit down, and you could be looking at around about 190, 200 pound a month, if you can afford it. If not, try and save up a bit if you can. If you go the NHS in the UK, you could be looking at 2-3 years. As it stands today, I read this morning, there's about 7 million people waiting for an op. And if you're not in a non-painful hernia, you're going to be waiting forever and a day. My sister, she waited 2 years for 104 weeks for her hip replacement. She got the other one done, but you know, those are 2 years in agony. So if you can afford it, if you don't mind going into debt for a couple of years, or even you take out a loan, obviously still going into debt, but you know, I can highly recommend you go do Keyhole, because you're 2 weeks out, back to work, get your life back, and you know, I've got to be honest, it's worth it. But that's a personal choice you have to make. Okay, if I can help in any way, please drop me a comment. I would be more than happy to give as much advice, much help, much support as possible for your operation, especially if you're suffering from hernias, pre-op, post-op, what the operation's like. Well, I don't know what the operation's like. I was out, but you know, recovering and that kind of thing. All right, and then hopefully I'll do another one on Tuesday. Hopefully I'll be back to work on Tuesday, the 15th. That's when my surgeon's appointment is, and that's it. I've waffled on. Okay, take care, guys. Be safe out there, and any help whatsoever, please do get in touch. Okay, take care.